This would be a terrible start. The pressure here.
Broadcast. Oh, wait. God Daddy's in the building. Broadcasting live from so many parts unknown. Joining me as always on the sticks. He's that bad dad of COD. You might know him as Muscle V. You might know him as your king of COD. But we know him as Dixie.
Yo, yo.
And our executive producer, the man that shirts have forgotten. He is the Pantsman.
Thanks.
And up in the clouds, he's higher than literally everyone I've ever met. He is our resident crazy man, flying high.
Ayo.
And you can feel free to ask me anything, for I'm Jeeves, and I welcome you to another edition of Call of Daddy 2. Tonight, the home is where the heart is, and if you're old, it's where the hearth is. But tonight, the COD Daddies go apartment shopping. Before we can go buying anything, though, Muscle V, what happened last time?
Last time on COD Daddies, our heroes held another drinking episode. Since it's been so long, I don't think anyone remembers what actually happens, including myself. So go back and listen to that episode. Anyways, as the heroes are continuing their kill battle, the scores are with Muscle V at 39 and Jeeves at 21. Let's listen to find out what happens next.
Very mediocre job.
You mean to tell me you don't write those the minute you get off of the last episode?
I write them as I'm on the episode.
I was going to say, I always thought you live streamed them. Well, anyway, if you can work on that, and maybe we'll get an update in the middle of the episode so people can remember where they're at in the storylines.
That's definitely not going to happen.
Yeah,
maybe like tonight off with a W.
Yep.
Speaking of W's, flying high, welcome. What are you doing at the start of the show?
I am drinking a hoop tea. It is a spiked iced tea, 5%, 120 calories.
I feel like normally you're the kind of person that comes in through the back door of a party and just appears, but today you came in like at the front, like right when the show started. It's very confusing to have you here. You clearly don't know what's going on.
I'm also confused on what's going on.
Yeah, we're not at the part where we explain drinks. I just want to know how you are.
Oh, I could be better. What's that?
How could you be better?
I am waiting to hear back on things that
could
change my life.
How could we make you feel better tonight? Is it because Muscle V didn't do a very good recap?
Probably.
He did a pretty decent recap. If we win this round, I'm gonna be like a 5 out of 5 right now.
Oh my god.
Uh-oh. I gotta clutch it now.
If it wasn't for this round, you'd be perfect? Is that what
Yeah, exactly what I just said.
Okay. Pantsman, how you doing, buddy?
Excuse me. I am drinking a...
Nope, not yet. So close. No, I got to see you in human person for the first time in a while.
I know, yeah, it was a good time. It was a great time. And
it was confusing.
Yeah, well, that's how it goes.
My kid doesn't hate you anymore. It's a real bummer.
Doesn't she, though?
I mean, she's not your biggest fan, but actually, the week after you showed up, Hot Soup showed up, and I'm not gonna lie, she gave him a very big hug.
I mean, I get it. So my... Go ahead.
Sorry. Didn't mean to interrupt.
You have to remember he just makes sounds. Please continue.
So, one thing that happened this week is I have a Mac and I have a keyboard that died. It just doesn't work anymore. And to try to avoid having to spend money on something I didn't want to spend a lot of money on, I went to the good old Goodwill and I bought myself a keyboard there for like $5, and it's nice enough. But it's a Windows keyboard, so it mostly works, but it's like a little janky.
Is there an electronics section in Goodwill?
Totally.
I probably haven't been in one in a while.
They have so many terrible, broken goods you can buy for very little money.
There's no way I would trust any of them.
Well, here's the best part. I was we were there anyway because we were actually donating some stuff, But I thought, oh well, here I could totally just get one of these keyboards on the cheap and not have to think about it. And it was a great plan up until I went back to the car and realized I had parked in a spot I wasn't supposed to, and I had a $75 ticket. So this $5
no.
keyboard savings of money turned into a huge boondoggle.
Left side.
I'm sorry. What was that word?
Left side. With the
Not
enemies.
you. Not you. Nope. Talking to Pantsman.
You don't
say
know boondoggle?
I'm because you just made it up. What do you mean? Do I know it?
You've never heard that's not even a weird word.
In for who? Who is not a weird word for?
Muscle V, jump in here. Your whole life is a boondoggle, you know.
Classic wordsmith.
That's not a real word. I've never heard of it before. Plus, I don't think anybody on this call can spell it, so it's not a real word.
I definitely don't think you can spell it, Pantsman.
I never claimed to be able to spell it. That's not the point.
So what in your head is the do not look it up. What is your definition of a boondoggle?
A boondoggle is like a foobar, or like something that goes really wrong. Like it all falls apart.
What is the origin of it?
Well, to boon is like to have a boon, to be, you know, the good fortune, all that stuff. Whereas a doggle is doppelganger. It's where the phrase doppelganger comes from. So boondoggle
Same root word.
Yeah. So it's the doppelganger of a boon. Boondoggle.
Stop. Doppelganger is a like impression, not the complete opposite. All right, that's enough word talk. Must be we haven't heard from you in a while. How you been?
Good.
Did you come and hang out between the last time we did a show?
That is correct. Yes.
Wow.
So
Ooh,
you had 3 people. Wow.
That's right. We've had a lot of guests.
Did you make a
Casa
point
Jeeves.
not to go on the weekend that I was there?
No, I had something else.
He was invited. He had a 2-year-old birthday party to go to.
No, it was a family reunion. Was what it was.
And he said, "I'm not reunioning with Pantsman, so suck it."
I don't blame him.
How was the family reunion? Did you remember everyone?
It was not my family reunion, so it was awkward as shit.
Honestly, family reunions are awkward anyway. I've never been to one and be like, "Oh, thank God we did this."
Yeah.
Was you drinking with me?
I don't think we've been to one flying high, have we?
I'm sure we have, right?
I don't think so.
I feel like we had to have.
Let's throw one. Let's throw one for your family. I think that would be fun.
That'd be funny as hell, to be honest.
It's me and you in charge of it. I think it'd go great.
What could possibly go wrong?
Muscleby, what was the best thing that happened at the reunion? Like, what should we take from your experience?
My son had fun with the outdoor activities. I don't know.
So you want were they planned outdoor activities, or was this like at a park?
No, it was at someone's house, and they had like the bowling ball and bowling pins, like the inflatable ones, and he had fun like throwing them around.
Flying high, write that down.
I can't read.
That's fine. Just
What?
write it. Just go ahead and write it. Don't read what you wrote. Illiteracy, I wouldn't put that past you. You've never even heard of the word boondoggle.
Can't read, can't write, can't state.
It's
Drink.
personal information. Take a drink. And Pantsman, why don't you tell us what are the rules for tonight before we go violating any more?
If you give away personal identifying information or get a name wrong, you drank. If you kill a guy, you drank. If you go a whole round without killing a guy, you drank. And if you mutter words without intending to
Kill the
talk
guy.
to us, you're gonna drink.
Oh no. Oh dear.
He killed a guy.
I
Take a
think
drink.
that's a drink.
Guy's been killed.
That's a drink for killing. So that's an intentional drink.
We just
Cheers
had
to
8
it.
kills though last round. I
Okay,
died.
well, you have to tell us when you do those things.
Good
By the way,
recap then.
You all
Give
have significant others that live with you, but you also have fairly decent sized homes with lots of different rooms. When you do your recordings, is your significant other just sitting on the couch, just there?
Little Fuse would burn a
Oh,
hole into my
good
head if she was sitting there.
question. I am in the living room right now.
You're so flying high. Your significant other streams, so she knows what's going on here.
Yeah. She's fine with it.
Yeah, she doesn't need to get away from. She's just like, oh yeah, that's just a thing people do.
Kill the guy.
Muscle, take a drink. Muscle V, I assume that Trixie just is in the opposite end of the house, the opposite wing of your home.
She's upstairs. So I'm in my office. She's upstairs. So she can't hear me.
My
Yeah.
next house has to have a new office just for me. Is one of my new goal in life.
So by bringing this up, I made him self-conscious, and he put his phone down. And then, to torture me, he walked right up to me and is now sitting in my chair at my computer, and it's just staring me down, and it's kind of hilarious.
Put him on mic. Tell him to say hi. He's never been on the show.
You want to say
before.
hi? He just shook his head vigorously.
Now, the audience doesn't know this, but Pantsman's boyfriend is completely made up. He's not a real person. So
Okay.
No, he's not made up. He just goes to a school that you didn't go to.
you'll meet him sometime. Yeah, I thought it was weird when you drove all the way down here and then didn't bring him.
I told you his flight was delayed.
On purpose.
All right. Do you have any? Thanks for the rules. Do you have any bonus rules for tonight?
Yeah. If you live in an apartment, you have to drink until you are homeless.
That doesn't take long, does it?
To go from living in a place to not living in a place, it takes some time. At least one show, I would think. So with that, Pantsman, how are you aiming to become homeless?
The rule I just made.
What are you drinking tonight?
Oh, we're doing that now?
Yes, we've jumped into that.
That's
smoothly.
that was even less clear than when you didn't intend us to say that. So I think in the past I've talked about having a Taiwanese brand of beer, and I think in the past I've talked about having a grapefruit beer. Today I've combined those two passions, and I've got a Taiwanese grapefruit beer. Oh, I'm sorry. 3.5% alcohol by volume, and it is 130 calories. I understand we're supposed to say that now.
That's too many calories, man.
Yes, the
That low
FDA is
amount of
regulated.
beer, I agree.
The FDA stated that we have to give nutritional information whenever we list off a beer.
I actually don't know for sure what it is. I googled that, and that's what it said. It doesn't say they can, but Mile High said his calorie count, and I thought like I was supposed to.
What? What is the? What's the name?
It is Sweet Touch Grapefruit, which sounds perverted. Now that I say it out loud.
Did you say
Yeah,
wheat
drink
touch
that.
or sweet touch?
Sweet Touch. Like I'm gonna sweet touch those grapefruits.
Yeah, I don't
Ale.
like that.
You better not.
How is the sweet touch? Is it sweet touch in your right?
It's great. It's real flavorful.
No, it's not grape. It's grapefruit. Those are different.
You're taking a timeout. So, Muscle V, what about you? What are you drinking?
Well, since we just celebrated America's greatest holiday,
Yep.
gotta go American. Going
Yep.
with a nice cold Corona.
Hell yeah.
I was really hoping you were going to actually be drinking American.
Is
Like that's the brand.
Is that not?
It's $10 for a 30-pack still, I think, even after inflation. It's the worst beer I've ever had. Corona, that's mixing it up. That's good. We had to take about a month off for you to switch up your drinks, but at least you've done it.
Yep.
Well, lock in, because if we have a run of these episodes, we're going to be hearing about Corona for months.
So much Corona.
I might switch it up. I might get some Coke in there.
Yeah. We know you. You're in this point in life where you do not switch things up. That's not happening. What do you do Corona and lime?
Of course, the American way.
That is the American way. So did you pre-cut your limes, or are you doing it like live on the air?
Oh no, they're still left over from Tuesday.
What?
They were cut on Tuesday. I'm using the same limes.
For fireworks.
No, they're cut.
Where the limes were cut for Corona.
It was cut for Corona.
What else would they have been cut for? That's all limes are used for. That's their only use.
I love that. Great. Okay. All right, Flying High. You rattled off most of it, but what are you drinking tonight?
I started with a Keystone Light,
We know.
followed by a Bud Light Seltzer Hudge soda,
Okay.
followed by a Bud Light regular, followed by a Sprite, followed by a Fatheads Fresh Hop Freddy. It's fresh AF. Followed by a Headhunter IPA.
I believe
Followed
also a
by
Fatheads.
yes, exactly. Followed by 2 Keystone Lights, and then followed by a nice fresh brewed tea, 5% alcohol, mango flavor.
All since the start of this episode.
Are you kidding? It's a slow night for him. He's barely got any kills. I don't know if you guys know this. You've never hung out with him. That's what anytime he finishes a drink, he has to go back and like Simon Says his whole drink history for the day. It's really impressive.
Yeah, and that's why I should stop for the night. So we'll see what happens.
I can't believe you threw a Sprite in there. What was the point of that?
I've been getting, I'm starting to wonder if I'm, drinking too much. So I gotta slow down, throw a Sprite or something in there. A
I don't-
water,
I think
Happens to the
everyone on
best
Earth
of
would
us.
understand why you'd sneak a water in there. Sneaking a Sprite in there is crazy person behavior.
I love the idea of saying to yourself, am I an alcoholic? No, I had a Sprite.
I really need to get a little healthier and just sneak a
You
Sprite
know,
into my drinking
throw
sessions.
something in there,
Do you like Sprite?
I love Sprite, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. It's been crazy. You probably downed it real quick then.
No, it did a little bit.
Okay. Well, that's bonkers still. I'm just going to move on. I am drinking a Bodhi, one of my favorite beers. It's the most dangerous beer in my drinking arsenal. It's about
Wait, is that the brand name or the name of the beer?
That's the name of the beer.
Oh, I was hoping that it was like the brand was Bodhi and the beer they titled McBoatface.
It's not. It's just I'll write to him. Actually, I'll probably just write to my senator and see if he can get it fixed. But either way, change can happen.
Thoughts and prayers. Thoughts and prayers.
We don't need it for this one. We'll just rebrand. It'll be fine. Save your thoughts and prayers for the next segment.
We're doing a prayer segment next?
Well, yeah, because
Bitch ass motherfucker. Sorry.
Take a drink.
Yeah.
Crazy person muttering. No, tonight we're gonna help. So Pantsman is deciding to no longer, despite what he said, he's deciding to no longer be homeless. He's gonna finally find an apartment. Is that right?
Yeah, looking hard.
You and your imaginary boyfriend are combing the streets, which is one of the reasons we had to take the last 3 weeks off. So did you find? I assume you found one.
We've found many. We've not landed on the one.
You haven't found one to live in.
Not as yet. We've got a couple of maybes, but a lot of probably not.
Oh yeah.
2 kills.
Drink for that one. The boy just killed it.
Are you talking about Pantsman, or are you talking about in the game?
In the game.
In the
It'd
game.
be weird if you were talking about my I'm looking but have found nothing is not worth celebrating.
You said it so well. Anyway, are you looking for your forever apartment, or is this like a temporary situation?
I mean, I think they're all in some level temporary situations. I would prefer.
Is that a metaphor for life? Is that what you mean?
Not trying
2
to get
more.
deep. I just mean that
Yeah.
when you're not owning the place, it is on some level temporary.
Everything's changed.
So
Wow.
yeah, I would ideally find a place that we would be happy with until we're ready to either leave this city or buy a place.
Why don't you just
Leave
buy a place?
this city.
Just buy a place now.
Ah!
Take a drink. Well, I got good news. We're going to help you out later tonight. We're going to set you up with the perfect ideations for an apartment. So then you will have a much easier time searching. Before we get to that, I wanted to check in with all of you guys. So
Did we already do that?
no, on your stances on apartments.
I'm drinking a
damn.
Taiwanese grapefruit beer.
Tell me the name or tell me not at all.
Go on.
Flying High, I wanted to start with you. I don't think you've ever lived in an apartment. Is that right?
No, but many friends that have, and
Yeah, that's
leases and stuff like that.
clearly not what I was talking about. I didn't ask you, do you know people that have lived in an apartment? I would hope so. Do you have
Yeah,
do
yeah.
you have any romantic thoughts about living in an apartment? Like, oh, what an amazing life that would be. I wouldn't have to mow the grass, blah blah blah.
There is thoughts there, absolutely, 100%.
You have to
I would
mow the
love not to mow
grass.
the yard. I wouldn't have to like do anything else besides that. You know, that's pretty fantastic.
Is that what you
Move one
think
around too.
the
Nice.
best part? Is that what you think the best part of apartment living would be?
Uh,
Or do you, anything
Honestly,
else would be great?
no. Not having a car, not having any car maintenance, not having to drive, be able to just go to a bar and have to like drive there and back or pay for an Uber.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm confused. Are
This,
you,
I think it's very clear that he's never lived in an apartment.
what do you think an apartment is? Do you think it comes with a
I'm
car
s-
service?
Well, no, I'm
You think
saying
it-
like you're walking into like a bunch of other businesses, correct?
I mean,
Uh,
there are apartments that exist that still require driving to places.
Because like every time my house is like 30 minutes away, so like I feel like an apartment, like
yeah,
if I was gonna move to an apartment, I would move something that's close to like businesses and stuff like that.
Sure.
you still would own a car. You don't just get rid of like unless you're going to like the middle of New York, you're still going to be having a car somewhere. You probably do have to drive
Do you
it
mean
less.
Albany?
You
Are you
do.
talking about Albany?
Yes. Yeah, upstate New York famous for not needing cars.
Yeah, I was
So,
gonna say I don't know
so wait,
about
I'm
that
curious.
one, but
So you've never lived in an apartment. Have you all rented houses, or you've only owned? Like, did you go
I've,
straight from your parents' house to like owning a home, or did you like rent houses?
I've only owned. Stripped my parents to own.
Oh my
My
gosh.
girlfriend had a townhouse. And it was all right.
I did like living in a townhouse, but it is definitely a different experience than living in an apartment. Um so I walking to stuff is nice. Have you how close have we been to pulling the trigger, just selling the house and moving to somewhere where there's stuff?
No, because the current economy, like rent's crazy right now.
It
You
would
want to
be
know
bad
what
to
the
do
budget
now.
is? We're targeting.
Yeah, no, I'm not on that budget, so unfortunately, I don't have a good
Yeah, but
answer on this one.
before you bought your house, you could have lived in an apartment. It was before all that exploded.
Yeah, true, and I'm so glad I didn't.
Why? Because now you own a house and now everything's unaffordable.
Because my house is $600 a month, and most apartments cost over $1,500 a month.
if there was an apartment where you live, it would not be 1,500 a month, even still.
They would have kicked me out already.
Okay.
Bad question. I'm not the clientele for this question. I'm sorry.
I think you're exactly the clientele for getting a full picture on what it's like to not live in an apartment, but wonder how it could be.
I would love
Uh,
to live like someplace civilized with a lot more things like Grubhub and stuff like that. The same point
I'm
is,
sorry, that's your lofty goal is to have Grubhub?
you don't understand.
I don't.
It's absolutely a goal if I was living where he is.
Oh man.
All right, so
I got
It's like
what
it's like saying I would just love to have a paved road. That would just be
bro. It's 30 minutes to the next Walmart. Okay, we gotta slow down here on the goals.
I was really jealous when you said what you were paying for your mortgage or whatever, and now I'm not.
you would hate it. Oh my god, you would hate it. What okay, so walk me through like a day in the life of flying high in an apartment. Like start from wake up. What do you do?
See, that'd be the bitch of it, because like I have to wake
You
up,
would
I
have to
have to take
wake
the
up. You would
dog
have to wake up.
out,
Oh, you
and
think you
then
would
I have
still
to.
have a dog in an apartment world?
I would never let my dog go. So yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Unfortunately, so I took the dog out for like an hour walk in the morning.
Hour
Come
what?
back.
What the fuck?
By the time she takes a leak, I take a leak. You know, we're within an hour. I get dressed, she gets dressed.
What are
I
you
get
doing
my
in the
co-
bathroom that it takes you an hour?
Why are you
Well,
dressing the dog?
Yeah.
And why are you
I'm
doing it
also
outside while you're walking?
okay, but I should confess someone this. Okay, I see what your thought process is. So I'm gonna have to get
Standard.
up. I'm gonna have to get dressed in pajamas or whatever, shirt. I'm gonna have to make a cup of coffee. I'm gonna have to get my cup of coffee. I'm gonna take the dog outside with me. I'm probably gonna take a shower before that. And then bring the dog back. I'm gonna have to clock into work, so I have to feed the dog and the cat beforehand.
Why is this different than your house? I'm a little confused. Are you just giving us your morning routine?
A little more exaggerated.
Well, the question is how does your life change in an apartment?
Because
Like, what's a day?
because I thought you were saying like at your home you can just open the door and the dog can walk himself and just hang out in the yard. But then you started saying I have to clock into work, and I'm like, yeah, I think you have to do that. Like, what are you talking about?
Honestly, you know what? I'd probably be more active if I was in an apartment. I'd be a lot more active if I was in an apartment.
When and why?
Because I can't just let the dog out the door.
Oh, is that so? That is what you do now. Like, do you leash him and just let him go?
Yeah, at least the dog outside the back door and let her go.
Okay, so that is a big difference. So you would take the dog on an hour-long walk? That sounds crazy.
I figured with breakfast, shower, and taking the dog out, yeah, about an hour.
I'm sorry,
Breakfast,
the
shower.
breakfast and the shower eats, I would think, significantly into your walk.
Yeah, I was saying like combined.
Okay, so you're saying the morning routine takes about an hour.
Morning
When you
routine,
said I'd
yeah.
have to go take the dog on an hour-long walk, what you meant was it'll take me an hour to get ready for the day.
Exactly, yeah.
How long did it take you now? 48 minutes?
About 15 to be honest.
Well, but you're not planning on seeing other humans, so that is a little different.
Exactly.
You think you would care,
Oh,
though?
let me disabuse you of the impression that you have to see or interact with other humans just because you live in an apartment. You do not. In
Well, but
fact,
you
I
don't.
would guess most apartment dwellers probably have even less neighborly connection than people who live in houses.
100% true, because you think it's just you're like, I don't need to know these people. They're going to be gone from my life in 10 minutes. So what do I don't need to meet them.
100%.
100%. I think in the dog walking community, though, you would have to meet your neighbors a little more, at least the other dog walkers.
Unless you like avoid them.
Well, you don't know where they are. How do you avoid other people?
Because they all take the same route. So if you're like, all right, I'm not gonna take that route. I'm gonna go somewhere else.
Is
Oh,
that
that's
true?
the other thing about apartment living. They do have designated dog walking routes you have to follow.
You have to claim which route you're going on.
There's
and
like
then
a
tell your
painted blue
neighbors.
line on the sidewalk that you have to walk in the right direction on. It's got arrows.
You have to sign up for times. Like slots to walk your dogs.
Yeah, right. So that way you don't have any accidental collisions.
Yep.
You don't have a potential Dalmatian situation. What? All right. Last question for you, Fly Guy. Do you think there's any other your life would be any other significantly different in an apartment?
I'd probably hate it to be honest.
You would definitely hate it.
Well, okay, that's interesting though. What specific things are you envisioning in an apartment that you would hate that you are enjoying in your house?
So Kira had I had a drink with
Like
it.
drink?
I had a drink. My dog hated having a townhouse with neighbors like bumping left, right, and center.
Bumping uglies? What do you mean?
No, just making noises like running
yeah.
around, dropping shit.
That's why you got to be at the top floor.
What? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
What do you mean dropping shit? What? Dude, were you? Also, it's a townhouses. You have the top floor. You have all the floors.
But it was the side neighbors that were like really annoying and noisy type
You
of
were
thing.
you were hearing them drop stuff.
Yeah, it was very thin walls.
I was gonna say
It was
that's not normally how
super
walls work.
annoying.
That has to be like plywood thin. What you shouldn't be hearing people
It-
drop stuff.
I agree. I agree.
You can hear like if they're bumping music, you'll hear like the reverberations on the wall and stuff. But I wouldn't. There's no way
No,
you're
they
hearing
are like
them drop stuff.
the dog heard like they were walking around. I was like, this is fucking annoying as hell.
Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
When I used to live, right now I'm in the top floor, so I am just the annoying one. I'm not the annoyed. But when I used to have
Nice.
people above
That
me,
is the money spot.
when I used to have people above me, I remember there were some days where I would hear people walking. Now I'm a pacer. While we're on this call, I am pacing and walking around aimlessly in my apartment. But when
A
I
lot
was,
of nervous energy out of you, not just pacing.
yeah.
Your
But when
hands are
I was,
constantly moving. You would drop stuff all the time. His dog would hate
oh,
us.
I've dropped things tonight. But when I was below people, I would think to myself, "You just went over there. Why are you walking back here? What are you doing? Pick a spot. What's going on?"
You were tracking them?
It was so noisy. In fact, when I was moved in, my mom was helping me move in, and I remember she was the first one to kind of notice how much noise you could hear from the people upstairs, and she said to me, "You're not going to like it here."
You can't call that out to someone who's moving into a place. That's not okay. Just because she's right, she has to bottle that up. You have to discover that 2 weeks into the apartment.
It absolutely made the noise far more noticeable that she pointed it out.
Yeah, you would have had
Of
the
course it
honeymoon
did.
phase for like 2 months. Like it would have been fine. Eventually, you would have figured it out. But
But it's fine.
not
Now I'm
first
in a
night.
top
Oh, I
floor,
got
and the
kicked.
only thing I hear is sometimes the people below me. For some reason, if they're having sex, I will hear all of their moans. I don't know why that's the only thing I really hear.
Is
But
that real or is that?
Oh,
that's happened. Yeah. I mean, I can't.
Oh wow.
The thing is, like, usually I don't hear anything. Sometimes I hear like I can just tell people are downstairs. There are some weird parts of the day where if it's really quiet up here, or I don't know what caused it, but I will just hear like almost full on conversations. Like I can't quite make out what they're saying, but I can definitely pick out words. And more than once, they're actually new neighbors downstairs now, so it's not the same people. But there were the last people that lived there. More than once, I would like, "What's that?" Okay, yeah, yeah, that's definitely sex moans.
So
Yep.
did you politely turn up the music or did you turn down the music you were listening to so you could really get into it?
Well, the first time it happened, I was deeply curious, just trying to confirm for myself whether that is what I was hearing. So I did put my ear to the floor. But other than that,
And then the
I
second time
mostly
you
just-
drilled that hole, and then the third time it was easy breezy.
once I got the cameras installed, it really connected the dots.
Is this weird with your imaginary boyfriend sitting right next to you while you're saying all this?
I don't think he's paying attention to me.
Oh, that's good.
how
That's
could he
good.
not?
Yeah. Well, he's not. Pantsman isn't moaning, so
Was he also watching,
time.
or was it just you, Pantsman?
he hadn't
Well, he
moved
was
in
here.
yet.
Yeah, he just moved
question.
in.
All right, Muscle V, let's check in with you. So you famously have lived in an apartment with everyone on this call except for the one who hasn't lived in an apartment.
Yep.
But now you live in a house. So do
Correct.
you?
I love
do
you
miss-
said everybody on this call. Like it was a lot of people.
It's
Yeah,
a lot.
bottom.
It's a good amount of people to have lived with on one call.
Who?
I'm
Yeah.
actually upset that I haven't lived with one person with all my siblings except for me.
Yeah, think about that. Poor Flying High's never lived with anyone. Forget anyone on this call. It also Pantsman, like most of your roommates are on this call.
What? Huh?
Because Muscle V, and then
Yeah.
No,
I never lived with you.
and just my wife. That was the other person that you've ever lived with, right?
What about college? There's two other people.
Boo. If Boo was here, I would have lived with Boo, and I lived with
Forgot.
people in college.
I forgot all three of you lived in an apartment. All
Yep.
right.
Oh, I don't know. He didn't.
Fuck.
What was
We're
what was
drinking for
that?
that for sure. Whatever.
Take
that
a
was.
drink. Take a drink for a take a drink. Pantsman, was that your neighbors that we just heard?
I think it was Flying High's. I think she's in the room watching him too.
Yeah, probably.
Through a camera.
All right, back to you, Muscle V. So do you ever miss apartment life, or are you a homebody now?
No, I like having a house.
Wasn't the question. I also like having a house. Do you ever miss apartment life though?
I said no, I like having a house.
Not a single experience is better from living in an apartment. Every single bit of living in a house you wouldn't change today.
Everything I did in an apartment I can do in a house and more.
Except walk to the bar. Like Flying High was saying
I can
originally.
still walk to the bar. A bar is literally down the street from my house.
You're talking about your grocery store?
Uh, actually, yeah, they do have a bar, but we actually have a
Does
bar.
that count?
There is another bar, the other way. Be like
No,
a
there's
10-15
not.
minute
What?
walk. Yeah.
Okay. When was the last time you did a 15-minute walk that wasn't with a dog? I don't know if you walk your dog also.
I do walk him. I don't know.
Okay, when was the last time you walked to the bar?
Never. I've never walked to this bar.
Okay. I mean,
The
obviously there's like
option's
life
there.
situations that are different, but
Yeah, the option's there for me to walk to that bar.
If I could walk to a bar, I'd be single.
that's lovely.
You asked.
No
Nope.
one asked. You interjected with that.
You're
I
welcome.
meant to drink.
Yeah, good drink.
I'll drink to that.
You really so you don't miss either of the apartments you lived with us in.
The one had an awesome view. I do miss that view, but I mean
So the
that's
one
Yeah,
with
our
Pantsman,
apartment was
that hurts.
amazing. The Jeeves apartment was
Shit.
fine. It was much more. The location of yours was better. The apartment itself of ours was better.
It would have been super weird to pee off your balcony.
Well,
It's only
considering we
awkward
didn't
if you
have
make
one.
it awkward.
yeah. We didn't have a balcony, so I don't know what you're peeing off of, man.
That's one of the reasons. That's exactly what I'm saying.
He's just peeing into the kitchen.
Well, yeah, I mean, obviously I've done that. But the annoying part about Pantsman and Muscle V's apartment was that the bathrooms were in both of their rooms.
Yeah.
That was also the best part.
It's so annoying. It wasn't so bad because Pantsman was okay about it. He would leave his door open so people could pee. Muscle V was a prick and would lock his door all the time.
So
So-
there's
To be
there's
fair,
an
I also
apartment
had
that-
a female with me, so Pantsman didn't have
Yeah.
anybody else in the room with him.
That is true.
Most nights, I think.
but you also didn't sleep naked with no covers. So
Which is why you had your door unlocked.
yeah. No, I was
So
saying,
for that sweet through traffic.
It was
I
for
wanted
the
that
breeze.
to generate a breeze.
Yeah.
No, we tomorrow. The boyfriend's going to look at an apartment while I'm working, and we have high hopes for it.
So finally you can sleep naked in your wait, where are you going?
Well, so this apartment has two bathrooms. One is like
Whoa.
in it's just like the general apartment bathroom, and then there's one like you go through the bedroom to get to the master bathroom, but it's behind a walk-in closet, so you go through the closet to get to the bathroom. And I have high hopes for a secret bathroom. Like that sounds like a great deal.
What do you mean? You have high hopes for a secret bathroom?
Well, I can't get too much into it, but
Oh, okay. I see. I mean, I feel like you've given away enough. All right, that's fine. I hope that goes for you. I was about to say I don't know what you're describing, but one of my apartments actually used to be exactly like that, so that helped.
Well, and the other thing about this apartment that's weird is it's a 2-bedroom. The second bedroom though is just kind of a half wall. Like it's not really a room. There's no door to it. It's not even fully enclosed. Like
What?
it's very strange. It's like it's like a
Alright, I
glorified
gotta bounce,
elevated dining room.
boys.
Oh, thank you, Flying High, for sticking around and only taking about 100 questions about your potential life that doesn't exist.
Y'all be safe tonight.
Well, we'll do.
You don't have to sign off with calls like that. That's intense.
Are you any closer, Jeeves, to being able to play?
Yeah.
You haven't been playing this whole time.
I have not been playing this whole time. That's why there's been so few kills tonight.
Mm-hmm.
We actually had a lot of kills, but we haven't been calling them because it's kind of not fair that Jeeves isn't playing.
I
Well-
think the kill number is going to go dramatically down as soon as Jeeves joins. Not because Flying High left, like that, like accounting for that, it'll go down when Jeeves joins.
Yeah, I don't think we're in threat of that right now. I've started the night at 77% download. We're at 81%. So
Oh
we're
boy.
not quite there yet.
All right, well, I'm gonna play some online stuff then.
Yeah, do some like showing off for the peeps. And still, assuming you play Call of Duty, still call out the kills for us so we know when to drink.
Okay. I will say
Oh,
there was one apartment and a house I actually saw this in as well, where they had the bathroom out in the hallway, like normal, and then there was a bathroom shared between the master and the guest bedroom. And I'm like, I don't know why
oh,
you would ever
Oh,
want to share a bathroom with a guest
that's a little
bedroom.
weird.
We actually saw a
that is
house that
weird.
had that, and I'm like, absolutely not. I will never live in a house like this.
Boy,
I
they
thought it was
call that.
weird.
There's a title for it.
We saw an apartment that had one bathroom, but it had two doors. One door from the bedroom and one door from the hall, which I thought was weird because I mean, I guess you could lock both doors once you're in there, but it just
You're,
feels like
I
you're
don't like
talking about the
that.
master bathroom or the
there was one bathroom
oh.
and there were
If
two
if
doors to the one bathroom.
if there's going to be one bathroom, that's fine. I think it's still unacceptable to have one bathroom, but it's if you're going to have only one, that's an okay way to handle it. Because then you've got like a faux master bathroom.
I guess I find it weird the idea of having two doors to one bathroom. Like I feel like I'm going to be walked in on.
So I hate
What
that.
like
I hate that at hotels. Like, I don't want to live with that.
wait, you hate that at hotels and don't want to live with it?
Yeah, like I hate that concept at a hotel. Why would I want to have that in my house?
What do you mean at a hotel? When
Hotels
has
that have two doors to the bathroom.
Yeah,
what hotels are you staying at that happens? I can't think of that ever happening in a hotel.
the ones I stay at have
Usually
that.
they're not big enough for a bathroom to have two doors.
I usually stay like 2 bedroom ones.
What?
2 bedroom hotels?
That's not a
It's
thing that exists.
What are you
they
saying?
have 2 bedroom hotel. We're going to.
Are you talking about
What?
an adjoining room? Like, what do you mean?
No, we're going to Florida. And we got 2
The
bedroom
more you're
hotels
talking, the
for.
more confused I'm getting.
No, we're going to Florida. We got everywhere we're going. We got 2 bedroom hotels because we're bringing my mother-in-law, so we have to get 2 bedrooms.
What a
And there's
crazy.
and that's fine, but there's a shared bathroom between them.
Sometimes there is. I don't know what's going to be in these
What?
ones, but sometimes there is.
So presumably, are these two separate rooms? Like your mom, your what'd you say? Your mom or your mother-in-law? Which
Yeah,
one?
we're going with the mother-in-law for this trip.
Your mother-in-law, would she get her own like room with a different key card?
No, same room, but the bathroom
Yeah,
goes
okay.
into the bathroom goes into the guest bedroom and also out into the hallway. We actually just stayed in one of those in Virginia.
I've never seen an apartment or a hotel like this. That's crazy.
hmm
It's not a standalone building. It's just that's like the room suite.
Yeah, there was a master bedroom that had its own bathroom, and then there was a bathroom in the hallway that also had a door to the guest bedroom. So it's like
Are
we
these like crazy expensive hotels? I don't understand.
this one was kind of expensive because we were right on
I feel
the.
like you're not schwanky enough for describing what you're
You're not
describing.
swanky enough.
This one was a Verba one actually. It wasn't a hotel. It was an Airbnb, but it was in a style of a hotel because there's just a bunch of different like hotel style rooms. I guess
What are you talking about
they're
now?
2 bedroom rooms.
What? But in a big building.
Yeah, in a big building.
This is this isn't a thing. What is the Verbo is just like a condo, I guess, and they're just renting it out. But
Yeah.
I guess if it's a condo, maybe that's still crazy. This is crazy, Pantsman, right?
I mean, uh, is it? Is it? I don't understand what this is. I just don't get what it is.
I don't either.
You
I
guys
will
have
say,
never seen that at a hotel. I mean, not a hotel, but
this is
a bathroom that has a door
we,
to the guest bedroom and also the living area.
Well, I have, but not in a hotel.
Yeah, I've seen it in a house.
I just described it. I was the one that brought it up, but not in a hotel.
We were shooting an episode of Reverse Psychology. Check it out where every podcast is, baby. And Boo Baby was freaking out because the hotel had it had a table. I don't even know why he was freaking out, but
Oh,
could you imagine?
he wasn't. You said freaking out, but what he was elated. He was like, "Oh my god, that's such a great, nice, fancy hotel room," and it was like it had a couch.
He's like,
that was the differentiating factor.
It's the nicest hotel I've ever seen. It was like, it's just a couch in front of a bed. Like, it's not that crazy. And he's losing his mind. He would explode if he saw what Muscle B was describing.
But it's hard to tell. Like, yeah, you would think like if he's impressed by a couch, he would be ecstatic about like a multi-roomed hotel. But he's the same man who could just as easily be like, "Oh no, that's no big deal. That's not a big deal. I don't care about that. Oh, my God, that couch. That couch was nice."
Your Boo Baby impression is so good.
I'll have to let you guys know in a couple weeks what the layout looks like if it has what I've been talking about. I'll have to send you guys a picture.
Please, and
picture.
then
Fuck that. I
Instagram.
want an actual like drawing sketch layout. I want you to
Okay.
with measurements.
You want Muscle V to draw it out.
I mean, honestly, if I'm being honest, that's my big gripe with apartment hunting is 1 in like 5 places offers a layout and 1 in like 10 offers a layout that includes measurements. I'm like, how am I supposed to know what these things are? I need to know what the size of these rooms.
I loved apartment shopping and I loved getting the rooms.
No, it's
I
awful.
did. I mean, now that I don't have to do it. Also, I never did it for more than like 2 days.
You're not diligent.
Yeah, right. I was just like, oh, we can pee off this balcony. I'm good. Check. In fact, if I was going back through, I wouldn't have got the one me and Muscle V got because it only had one bathroom and he sleeps in the bathroom.
I do not sleep in the bathroom.
You said that.
Slept in the bathroom.
You've said that.
No,
That's
I said when I shower, I take a longer
That's
shower.
in the bathroom. You do shower in the bathroom, correct?
I do shower in the I don't sleep.
I actually wouldn't give a fuck if you fell asleep in the kitchen showering. That would be fine.
Weird. But fine.
I would ask you why you took forever because I had to pee, and you'd be like, I was asleep in the shower.
Yeah, it was early in the morning. I was tired.
I'm not. This is just what happened. I'm not falsely accusing you. I wasn't that mad. I was just like, I fucked up. I should have got a second bathroom in this apartment.
Yeah, that was something we definitely like. I feel like you should never get an apartment with one bathroom, even if you live by yourself.
I've literally never said. Every single time Lil Fuse looks at a place, I'm like, does it have 2 bathrooms? If she goes no, I'm like, I'm not even looking at it. I'm not even going to pretend, just in case Muscle V comes over and wants to shower. Why are we talking about bath? Oh, schemas. So I love the room schema, but I've never once used it for any purpose.
I'm sorry, what schema?
Whatever, blueprint, whatever, floor plan, whatever you want to call
Layout
it.
is what I would call it.
That picture that is fun to look at, but absolutely means nothing to me.
I will say, I like the 3D ones because they're pretty, but they somehow convey less information than the just hand-drawn ones.
100%, they are way worse. But have you ever looked at it and saw the measurements and were like, no, that won't work? And what was the holdup?
Well, I had an apartment once that I looked at the measurements. I stood in the empty room. I knew exactly how big it was, and I was convinced that it would just barely fit my bed, and that it was fine. I was gonna rent the place, but I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna do for like maybe the dresser has to be in the closet, or maybe it's gonna be like in the living room. I don't know what's gonna happen with the dresser because this bedroom is tiny. And then I moved my bed in and it was like, this bedroom is massive. I have so much space. I had too much space. I was so confused. So I'm bad at that stuff.
You were bad at measuring, or you were bad at understanding this? Like what?
Well,
you measured your stuff, or
I'm really bad at comprehending, like looking in an empty room and having a sense of what will fit in there. I think you were there when I was laying out.
You did mock-ups.
I was trying to figure out if a couch would fit in our apartment when I was with your wife, That sounds more sexual than it was meant to be. But I remember I was trying to figure out if the couch I was trying to get would fit. And so I got giant rolls of paper and measured them out.
This was both crazy person behavior, and also I don't have a clue where you got this paper from.
I cannot divulge my secrets.
You got paper that was exactly couch size. You cut it, but still, I don't know where you get any sheet of paper that's so big.
It was wild, yeah.
It was like thunder paper or some crap.
But I had this paper, and I was cutting it and measuring it to the perimeter of the couch, and then laying it in the living room to see how it would fit.
Maniac behavior, but it was super fun moving around those sheets of paper to see how you should rearrange your house.
Totally.
I think you can do that all on a phone now, right? Like you can do all of that on a phone nowadays.
I don't. Well, that's a good question. Have you tried that?
I haven't, but I haven't bought furniture lately. But I thought they have like this is what it looked like in your room, like.
Yeah, I was
like the AI thing?
I was asking Pantsman.
Okay.
Are you talking about like an AI thing where like if you're looking at you just point
I don't think you need an AI thing, just like a SketchUp or something.
Not AI. I don't mean AI. I meant VR.
Oh right, you don't know what AI is.
I do not. No, where you just like you point at your wall with your phone, and the couch you're trying to buy like shows up as an image in the spot where it would live.
Yep.
Well, you could also do like a less intense version of that because you know the potential dimensions from this blueprint or whatever.
I'm sticking with rolls of paper because I think that's a system that just works. It's simple, it's straightforward, it's repeatable. And it's fun.
You have to be in the space to do that. Like if you're just apartment hunting, it would be.
There are drawbacks.
What?
Well, that's the thing. Whenever I go to a showing, I bring a backpack full of paper.
You bring your your scrolls of furniture.
They're like, let me show you what's happening.
She's like, look, it's okay. I'm just gonna lay out my furniture real quick. Just give me like 4 minutes.
I just want to see if my 2 couches fit in this massive room.
Oh, this is never gonna do. Oh, I'm sorry. That was the couch. I wanted the bed one. Let me whip this one out.
My couch is so much bigger than I remember. I like as a prank, that would be amazing. You just take up this apartment shower's time, just moving paper around.
I will say the biggest thing I hate about apartments is moving your shit all the fucking time.
Yeah, you do move a lot. You move a lot in apartment life.
Yeah.
So you mean that you don't stay in one specific apartment for more than a few years, and so you're always just having to pack up and move on to the next place.
Yep. I hate packing.
Yeah, relatively, you're a drifter.
That's sort of true, but I also feel like that has more to do with like what you're like. You could just stay.
Well, and I think when me and Muscle V were in apartments, we were like fresher. We were fresher in our careers, so we were not settled, right? We were fresher in life. Yeah. And
if you're depending on other, like if you like part of a lot of people's apartments life, it could be a house life too, but if you are depending on a roommate to afford the place, then whoever you're living with, and this is what happened with us, whoever you're living with might move on to another stage of life before you do, and then you're just like, well, I need a new roommate or a new place.
That's why they recommend. That's 100% why they recommend getting married before getting into a house. You just don't want the other person to move on before you do. All right, let's go. I think we've scoped out enough. I think. Does anyone have any last apartment thoughts before we trick some out?
Nah, man.
All right, cool. So the whole goal of tonight was to help you because I know you've been struggling for about 2 years.
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
You've been struggling to find the perfect apartment for you and your boyfriend, even though you didn't know when he'd show back up. So I thought we could help you out tonight. We could tell you the features and functions of an apartment that you should be looking for and you should be asking about when you go into these listings. I don't remember what they call going into an apartment to view it. Viewings? Showings.
Showings, I think, is usually what they're called. Yeah.
Meetings? Apartment meetings? I don't know.
I would not attend an apartment meeting.
Those are timeshares. Okay. Anyway, So we're gonna present to you, and you're also gonna present to you, but also I guess your imaginary boyfriend in the room. The features that we think are perfect for an apartment. Are you excited?
Well,
Super.
I'm very excited. I kind of feel like it's a waste of time though, because I already know that the feature that I need is somehow for my morning routine to be under an hour. Like, that's the feature.
Yeah, but see,
That's the feature the apartment offers.
that's where you're wrong. An hour is too short.
Yeah, because that just covers the time that you're gonna pass out in the shower. It doesn't even cover the rest of the fucking time in the bathroom.
Which is another hour potentially, right?
At least
Like,
some days, I swear to God, some days I think it was 3 hours in the bathroom.
Honestly,
that was never the case.
If I had to pick two bowels that should not have lived together, it was your two.
Yeah, that's fair. Muscle never had to wait for me, probably.
I've peed in this thing a couple times.
All right. So the only rule is this is going to be a 1-floor apartment that we're tricking out. But we're going to build the best apartment with the custom features that we either love to have or think we would love to have. I, for the very rare time, as the reigning czar,
Whoa!
I will choose the order, which is great. And it means
I forgot we made mistakes last time.
You specifically made the mistake. You missed it because someone didn't do a recap, but you fucked up, which is why you get to go first. And we will not be doing snake order. It's going to be you first every time.
Great.
Every time.
Every single time.
This bitch came prepared, so I've been literally spending the last 2 to 3 weeks obsessing about this, so I know exactly what I want, exactly what I need. Because I am perfect, I know that by extension for all humans everywhere.
Okay. Great. So, Pantsman, you're going to go first. I will go ahead and take second. And must be you can bring up the rear.
Okay. Every time?
Every single time.
Damn, it's a lot of responsibility.
Okay. So, Pantsman, the thing that I think we really want to start with, we really want to set we want to set the scene correctly is in the kitchen. So what I want you to do is tell me the must-have feature for entertaining in the kitchen of your 1-floor apartment.
Okay.
Do you before you answer, do you know what a kitchen is?
That's that place that some people use to prepare and eat food?
Yes, foodstuffs, yes.
I just use it to store my dishware.
In our case, it's where you get really drunk and then heat up pizza late night.
Exactly. So for the kitchen, I thought you've heard of a kitchen island?
I have heard. In fact, you ate pizza around my kitchen island.
Yeah.
Take a drink. That was a humble brag.
So we're gonna throw it up a notch. How about
we're gonna throw up
kitchen floating island? This is not an island in the center floor. This is an island chandelier hanging from the ceiling.
Uh-oh. So not floating.
Oh, did you think it was run by helium? What did you imagine?
You said it was floating. I thought it was.
I was intrigued.
All right, well, let's stick with that then. It's floating.
Nope. I wrote down chandelier. I want to hear what was in your head. So
the chandelier comes down, and it raises and lowers. High ceilings, obviously, so it raises and lowers. So when you're entertaining, it lowers down. It is just full of spaces to put all the. You got all kinds of hot dog wieners, and or what are they called? What are those cocktail wieners
hot dog
called?
Wieners, yeah, they're called cocktail wieners. Pigs in a blanket? Is that what you're looking for?
Pigs in a blanket is what I was looking for. Thank you. You got all thems. You've got your mini bagel pizzas. All the high-end fancy hors d'oeuvres.
I've been to a lot of parties, including the frattiest of frat. I'm gonna pretend like I go to classy parties. I have never seen a bagel bite at a party.
And the center of the chandelier, the floating island, it has two sides. On the one side, there is a lava cheese flow. It's a
What?
fountain dripping cheese, and on the other side is a chocolate fountain. So it's dripping, not dripping, but like flowing, delicious cheese that you can dip your bread in, and delicious chocolate you dip your strawberries
Where
in.
is this?
It's like it's coming from the center down out as it spreads out, and then gets recycled back somehow, probably.
Are we trying to make this as realistic at all, or is this all like daydreaming?
This can be all daydreaming if you'd like.
What?
I don't
What part of this made you question that maybe some of this was a real thing I saw on House Hunters International?
It wasn't. I was just thinking if the goal was to help you with your house, you're not gonna find anything or with your apartment.
Well,
Anything...
he could potentially
I'm sorry.
install
Did you
this.
think our fun, exciting show was going to be about talking about like trim? Like what the fuck?
You were gonna
Oh
get
my
an
God,
apartment
wait,
based on our recommendations.
Are you gonna put trim in your kitchen?
That'll be ridiculous.
I still want to understand the mechanics here. So it's floating.
Yeah.
Where's the cheese and chocolate coming from?
There's a tank upstairs that it's coming through.
It's coming from the ceiling?
Yeah.
It's
But you also said it lowers for when guests are there, right? Like, I guess what's the
Yeah,
purpose of
because
it
you don't
not...
want. Yeah, the thing about any
It
island
lowers.
is that if it is in your way, you want it out of your way. So this thing raises and lowers. It can be completely out of sight, out of mind. It can come down and be a full spread of food, or you could just bring down like parts of it and have like it's a cutting board and like a useful
wait,
functional
what?
space.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
How are you ordering these things down?
Oh, it all goes through a custom voice activated feature. So
It's only voice activated.
No, there are three ways to do it. There's the voice activated.
Right.
There's the phone app, but believe me, the phone app doesn't work. And then there is the manual way.
That hits extra hard because I have my HVAC is hooked up to Wi-Fi and it cut out today when I needed it most.
Oh no. The third way is the manual way. And when I say the manual way, I mean
Lord knows what this is about to mean.
There is a nice man named Manuel, and Manuel will come, and he will do the cranks and the physical labor to get it done. That comes with it. That's you don't have to pay him because he's paid by the company that installs it.
I'm just gonna throw this out there. Why don't you write these kind of jokes for reverse psychology?
Where would I use these jokes? First of all, you've assumed I've written any of this. Second of all, what where would this fit in that show?
Well, it could. It could. That's all I'm saying. This is
all right. Drink because I am a producer, not a writer on that show. So,
well, you're supposed to do both. All right. I think I understand it fully. There's a lot of parts to one idea. The idea that multiple parts could come down is wild as shit. There's also like a weirdly practical element. Like you could definitely make an island that goes and up to the ceiling and comes back down. But then you add a cheese and chocolate fountain, which notoriously you give a lot of shit for. Because I think it was 2 episodes ago we did Kentucky Derby, and you did not like that stuff.
Well, I wasn't the one who had chosen that stuff then.
I see. I see. Okay. I mean, I do love it.
I got to go first. I got to go first this time.
I'm looking over at my island, and I'm just like, you know what? This should float. Why does this motherfucker stay to the ground? What am I benefiting
a stupid
from?
function. Like what?
Well, I thought your cheese and chocolate fountains were going to be coming up like through the island, in which case, okay, you'd you would potentially attach it to a tap or some crap. But it came from the ceiling, so you don't even need to do that.
You don't need to think about it at all. Manuel takes care of anything that the app doesn't do, and the app doesn't do shit.
Well, I was gonna say, famously, your apartment does not have Wi-Fi in the kitchen, so you would all be screwed. Hopefully, you can call
That's why
Manuel.
it's not working.
Yeah.
User error.
Hopefully Manuel can be reached without Wi-Fi. Great. I love that. This is probably your second best effort to date.
That's disappointing, but also great. So go on.
All right, so I'm up next. So I'm going to go for a more grounded approach because I've lived in reality, but I think there's a lot of benefit to the.
Also,
There's
mine
a lot of
never touches the ground, so you were literally right about that.
I am literally grounding myself in next answer. People fucking love hanging out in the kitchen, right? There's a lot of food. There's a lot of talking. It's usually a space where you I think other people cook in it. I don't know, but I love hanging out in the kitchen. I've never once cooked, but I love the chit chat that goes on in kitchen life. I just don't love standing. So here's my proposal. I'm going to set up some stadium style seating for the kitchen. I think it's obviously going to be around an island. I don't know what a kitchen is without an island. I have no idea what the purpose would be. So even for an apartment, I'm going to set up an island, and then around it will be in the floor will be buttons you can press, and up pops stadium style seating for each side if you want. They also don't have to all be up.
I want to like the idea, but they're coming up instead of coming down from the ceiling, so I feel like it's missing a crucial element.
I'm not gonna lie. As soon as you said, not as soon as you said floating, because I literally thought you were jet propulsing them, which would have been great. Would have
With the
loved
price
it.
of gas these days.
Well, jets don't have to be gas propelled, but that's okay.
I'm gonna be completely honest with you right now, Jeeves. I don't know how jets are propelled.
A lot of times it's through gasoline, but you could also, you could do nuclear propulsion if you want. You just need energy.
I don't think that I could.
Well,
I don't think that's an avenue available to me, but sure.
You don't have to invent the propulsion system. It doesn't matter. It's fine.
I wasn't worried about being able to build the thing. I was worried about the implications of having uranium in my house.
Well, it could just come from the ceiling. It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be in your living space.
Where am I going to get it? The Libyans?
The supermarket.
Can bring it every time he shows up. Yeah, at the supermarket.
You never bought uranium at the supermarket?
I made a Back to the Future joke, and I feel like you didn't appreciate it.
I don't. Which Back to the Future?
I don't think we heard you.
I said the Libyans.
I don't. Is that a joke? That feels like an obscure.
That's
joke.
where Doc Brown gets the uranium for his original time machine.
Why do you know that so well? Did they call that out multiple times? Like, were we oblivious, or is
that's the whole plot of the first movie? He gets murdered by the Libyans.
I don't. Okay, it's been a long time.
It's also very possible I'm just flat wrong about this.
It doesn't inherently sound right.
Well, very little of it I say inherently sounds right.
Although now that you're specifying that, I do recall it being a country, so that's at least good. I could never. If you'd have been like $1 million, a specific country is what mows down Doc Brown. I said no.
So I want to get back to your pitch. So you're talking about stadium seating in the kitchen. When you say stadium seating, do you mean
stadium style seating?
But do you mean bleacher style? Do you mean like those plastic seats that fold down? Or do you mean like a movie theater kind of cushy, comfy seats that fold down?
Well, so I'm not gonna lie. When people say stadium style in a home, they just mean like there's a second like raised floor. But your question's good. I think I'm gonna go ahead and just add I was thinking benches, but now I'm gonna actually add the plastic seats that have one cup holder that's yours and one cup holder that's your buddy's. And if you guys cross cup holders.
Yeah, those are awful though. Like, I don't want to sit in that for a long time.
Yeah, I'm torn because on the one hand, I really want to give you shit because those are terrible seats. But on the other hand, you don't want cushions because you're in the kitchen. There's going to be stains.
When you want people to sit and you want talking points, but you don't really want them to stay. You do want them to eventually get out of the seats. Maybe one.
What if they take quarters? What if after like 10 minutes, they fold back up whether you're in them or not, and you have to put like quarters in to keep them folded down.
Follow-up
Is it
question.
the Aldi method?
What do you mean if you're what do you mean if you're in them or not?
Like if you're sitting in the chair and
It
your
just
time
folds
is
up
up,
on you're
it
just
folds
dead.
up. I'm not gonna kill you.
You just
It's just
they
gonna
fold it-
squeeze your legs together.
When they say get folded
into
like
your
a lawn
chest.
chair, they don't mean literally. Like you would be dead if that happened.
How powerful are these chairs?
Well, if they're not powerful, then it's ineffective. If you can't human move, you're not gonna get up.
I think it can cause discomfort without murdering you.
There's a joke there somewhere. Give me 10 minutes, we'll find it. I think it
Bear in mind,
works.
I can't edit it into.
Can you just pipe in some audio, please? All right. I think
we've heard enough of you.
Yeah, I think so. Well, must be you didn't have any questions. I assume you're just in because you would love to have seating in your kitchen.
So in my ideal kitchen area, I think
I like that you're not answering the question.
I
You're
love
dodging.
that he's not answering. He's like, I'm not even gonna honor that with a response.
Oh,
I'm
no,
just moving straight on to the better answer.
I've just woken up from in the bathroom.
Anyways, so I think we've all established that islands are a must. Except for mine's gonna be a long island where you can have like at least 8 seats around it.
I thought you meant a New York island.
A New York Island iced tea.
Yes.
It's a city in Albany.
Anyways, so you have like 8 seats around it, and
how much? Whoa, time out. How much do you think a normal island could hold?
Like 4.
What? Where? One on each side?
No, like I want everybody like on the. I don't want the sides. I want like, cause like the one side you have like your kitchen shit, right? The other side you have the seats, the bar stools.
So wait, you want us to all sit around an island like we're Jesus at the Last Supper?
It's not around though. It is like Jesus is the Last Supper, but it's all one side.
Anyways,
we want to make sure. I want to make sure we understand the logistics. It's 8 people on one single edge of the island. Is that right?
We can do 6 on one end and then 1 person on each on the end pieces. That way we can have some conversation if we want.
So this is a narrow island.
Yeah,
it's not narrow. No, there's more space on the other side. It's just like have
two. If 2 sit there, I will kill one of the people.
Can it be curved? Can it have a curve to it?
It's not going to be curved. We're not monsters. Anyways,
curve's probably your move though.
Yeah, because if you have that many people sitting side by side, you want to have a little curve so you can like see each other and like interact beyond just the person immediately next to you.
Some people don't want that. Like, how many people do you know that have 8
I get
friends?
It now. Nope, say no more. Say no more. I get it. This entire design is built around having to have this many people in your house, but interact with as few as possible. I gotcha. I understand what you're doing.
And the 8's only there if it's like necessary. You don't
This
you don't
is
always...
a pipe dream that Musclevy thinks about once a day.
Like, obviously people don't have 8 friends, so like the most you'd have like 4 chairs filled up. But like on those rare occurrences where you may have 8, like I don't want to talk to the other 4.
It is annoying that as we get older, 8 people in your house that are your friends and not like kid stuff it seems impossible.
Yeah. So anyways, I do need room on this island for my 3D printers that actually are going to be printing edible food. So you can really get whatever food you want. You just type it into the computer, and bam, within 30 seconds you got, I don't know, your salad, your chicken, your steak, whatever you want. It's
First of
right
all,
there.
okay, 3D printer food is a brilliant idea, assuming it's possible. But I feel like
it makes almost no sense from a science standpoint.
I wanted disqualified because you had one idea, which was an island, and then you saw that was not an idea because they exist, and now you're trying to add on another thing that I don't see the connection. Like, at least my cheese thing fit with the chandelier.
I said the island has.
What do you mean? Time out. What do you mean your cheese thing fits with the chandelier? What does that mean?
It flows down the chandelier. It was part of the thing. As far as I know, is this at least connected to the island in some way? These 3D printers.
Wait, I missed this. What do you mean? What do you mean it flow down the chandelier? Did you say that?
Yes. The floating island, the cheese went down it. That's how you. Where was it supposed to go?
Wait, down the wires?
What?
What do you mean? Wait, how do do you think your thing looks?
It's like shaped like a chandelier. It's narrow at the top where it hangs, and it spreads out as you get closer to the bottom.
How do you? But you can retract it.
It goes right up.
What do you? What do you mean it goes right up? What goes? If there's a chandelier, doesn't that get in the way?
What? It
How
is the
does-
chandelier.
What?
We're not
What do
talking
you-
about my thing. We're talking about Muscle V's thing.
Well,
Muscle
I think
V.
I wrote
How
down.
does I
I
just
wrote down that you have two ideas.
The island is not the idea. The island is the background. The idea is the 3D printer.
It doesn't feel like the island is needed at all for the idea.
Oh,
You
I get it now.
You can put
He was
your
telling
idea
us
in
he was telling us his dream, and now he's telling us his idea. Got it. Okay.
You could this 3D printed food could fit literally. It doesn't even need to be in an apartment. You could just be on the road with it, theoretically.
Yeah, but islands are badass. If you're not doing it at an island, what the hell are you doing?
You're just pro island.
Oh yeah,
We're all pro island.
100%.
We're all
Make
pro
no
island.
mistake.
I don't think you're pro island. I think you're pro ceiling adornment.
Still an island.
Is it?
How is it not? It's
well,
in the
for
middle
what,
of the room.
for what it floats. I don't think any island floats.
Also,
Okay,
how
somebody's
high
never
are your
seen, any of the
ceilings?
Avatar movies.
Yeah, are your ceilings like 30 feet tall? Like, how high are your ceilings that you have a whole island just hanging from your ceiling in this
Do you
apartment?
think any light fixture is an island? Like that hangs down from the ceiling?
What?
Do you think a ceiling fan's an island?
No, because it doesn't come low enough.
So if it lowered, it would be an island.
Absolutely, it would. If you can interact with it, I can't interact with a ceiling fan without losing a finger.
Well, it wouldn't be on, I think. But if I could just raise or lower my ceiling fan, how high?
If I could-
How low
look.
does it have to get before when it becomes an island?
Starting point. If I could either turn off or just very, very, very slowly have the ceiling fan move clockwise, but lower down, and I could set stuff on it, like that's like a baby floating island. Like that's the starting point. That's where the idea. That's the prototype.
I don't think that's any human's definition of island except you. Can you check with your imaginary boyfriend and see how he feels about that?
Hey, babe, can you say that I'm right? He's shaking vigorously again.
I've met your boyfriend. There's no way that's the tact to take.
You are correct. See, was that so hard?
Okay, so back to printed food.
Yes.
What I'm fine with it existing. I need to understand the mechanism for how you're building the food.
It gets 3D printed.
3D printing is usually that like gray stuff that you would hate to ever eat. Like what?
Well, obviously
has
this
to-
is in the future where we can 3D print food.
But how? Yeah, again, it doesn't have to be exact science. I have to just have a rough understanding for how this could possibly exist. Is it taking the atoms and arranging them properly?
You buy edible.
What?
I don't know. Edible.
Really, really bad start for creating chicken and salad or whatever the fuck you said.
Whatever ink this 3D printer needs, you buy edible ink that has like different colors, obviously because it's a printer. But then it also tastes like different things that you want it to. Like chicken tastes like chicken. You would never know.
So it's all the same material. You're just you're adding flavors to it, basically. It's like that's the last print
Sure.
or whatever.
I mean, if that was possible, it would be amazing. Here's my question, and I asked this before, but if you print, let's say, an ice cream sandwich,
Yeah, it's fucking
and it
delicious.
tastes exactly like the most decadent, wonderful ice cream sandwich I've ever had, is it also going to make me thinner and healthier? Like, is the technology there where it not only is going to taste amazing, but isn't terrible. Because if I have a 3D printer that fattens me up, like the Doughboy that I'm going, I will explode. I will eat until I literally explode.
Luckily for you, this 3D printer has profiles. You can set your profile to exclude like gluten or carbs or whatever the hell you need. You need
Oh, there
to
you go, Pantsman. You
exclude.
can just exclude gluten.
Wait. I'm confused. So you're saying that if I exclude gluten, my ice cream sandwich won't have a sandwich part? It won't have the bread? It'll just be the ice cream? What are you saying?
No,
No, it'll have
it'll
that.
use
It
alternative
just won't have the
material.
gluons to make them good.
No,
Why?
it'll have
Why
alternative
would
material.
why would anybody choose to use the gluten if it tastes the same and is healthier without it?
What if you
Like,
have
what's the point of giving me the option to have it?
What if you have a gluten allergy?
What if you have a
What?
gluten allergy, Pantsman? What if you have celiac?
Yeah,
If I have a gluten allergy, why on earth would I want the gluten? I'm of course
would-
going to set it to no gluten.
and it would still taste amazing. That you're
And it
not
would
Right.
getting
still
So
it.
taste-
why give me the option to even have gluten? Why is gluten even in the mix?
You have to tell it. How is it supposed to know? It's not gonna be like, oh, this is Pantsman. He can't have gluten. Let's just automatically assume that, right?
Why would
is
anybody want gluten
is
if
your
it
cake
doesn't add taste or health reasons? I
must
don't
be,
understand.
is your cake gonna taste the same whether it's got gluten-free or non-gluten-free profile?
Here's the thing: people that can't have gluten don't know how it's supposed to taste anyway. So obviously, it's gonna
No,
taste a little bit better.
they're not blind at birth with gluten. They've had it and they eventually figure out they're wildly intolerant and or allergic to it.
But they
They know what
haven't.
it tastes
But
like.
they haven't had it in a while. So like, obviously, with gluten's gonna be a lot better. But
Okay.
for the people
You
that
wait. You said they haven't had it in a while. You
This
say
is the
that like nobody has ever had a moment where they started eating gluten and reached a point where they stopped. Like there was no transition period at all.
no, it's
It just
always
went from they had it all the time to they haven't had it forever with
there's
no in
easily
between.
it's
this
always
is
been a
easily the
while.
most scientific thought you had leading up to Pantsman's inquiry. Like obviously it will taste better, but just like if you drink Diet Coke after not drinking Coke for a while, it's fine.
I mean, this had the potential, Muscle V, to be the best answer, the undisputed best answer. And I feel like you're really failing to make it a practical thing I can buy in a store tomorrow. And that's really hurting your chances.
Oh, but your floating island you can buy tomorrow, right?
The thing is, even if you could, would you buy it really? It's not that important. But I want the magic device that gives me all the
So
fuel.
you just
Wait a
pretty
minute.
much said yours is disqual. Like you
If the
shouldn't win.
floating chandelier was practical, again, I don't understand why you keep pitching the chandelier part, but like if it worked, I would absolutely entertain the idea of it. Not now with children, but like at some point, I would absolutely entertain that.
Oh, it's actually perfect for children because when the children are around, you just raise it up and get it out of the way.
Are you kidding? Do you know the islands are a safety place? That's where we put like things they can't reach.
Okay, you can still do that.
I'm not.
You set it on the island and then you raise
and
it up.
then raised. I'm not putting. I'm not putting weapons on the ceiling to then come down at Manuel's leisure.
I feel like if you have a lot of weapons you're playing with around your child, island or not, I'm calling social services.
Do you understand how dangerous knives are?
What's a knife?
Okay. Let's move on to the next aspect of
So
apartment
soon?
hunting. So soon. So the next most important thing is a lot of people that visit other apartments love sports. So Pantsman, we really got to cater to these guys. What do you got for what's one feature that sports fans would absolutely love?
You know, it's a sport. Swimming is a sport.
Is it?
And my house will have an Olympic size swimming jacuzzi.
Just want to remind you this is a single floor apartment.
You didn't specify how wide and deep the house could be, just that
I
it
did
can't
not.
be more than one floor.
That is
So
correct.
turns out most pools are only on one floor.
First off, if you're not on the ground floor, how is this pool working or jacuzzi working? I'm sorry. Like
Well,
that's a lot. That's a lot of weight.
I'm sorry, have you never heard of a rooftop pool? Like they exist.
They do, but you're talking about a regular apartment. Like
It does
Who
have.
said it was regular?
I did not specify you could have Roof access.
I didn't say it was on the roof. It's an indoor pool.
Tell me more. Describe it.
It is. It is a pool that has fun jets shooting bubbles in, and warm, delightful water that you're never cold. Oh, I burped. You're never cold.
So you're on the second floor of this, 5-story apartment building.
Nope. One floor.
No. I'm talking about the whole entire apartment building. It's got like several floors, right? It's not just a single floor apartment building.
Yeah, where did you envision this Olympic pool?
I don't understand the question. It's in the apartment.
Yeah, how many floors up did you imagine this?
You have to be the ground floor, is what I was saying. Like, no way your second, third, fourth
You don't have
floor.
to be.
You don't have to be.
It seems unlikely to have an
This is
Olympic pool.
if it's got to be if my apartment has to be 1 story and it can be an actual apartment with many levels that I just get to pick what floor I'm on. We're obviously penthouse, and the penthouse has an Olympic-sized pool. Like, you can make a building as wide as you need it to be. It's not a problem.
Can it hold the weight of all the water? It's a lot of water.
That's for the engineers to figure out. Like, that's not my problem.
That's fine. I think we can. Between the floating chandelier and the Olympic pool, you could easily figure out the Olympic pool. That's way easier to understand than whatever the fuck you described before.
You can't even picture what I described.
Honestly, don't know what you were saying. What? Why does this benefit sports fans? I think anyone can understand how swimming works and exercise in a pool. How does this benefit sports fans?
I don't understand the question.
Why, as a sports fan, would you want an Olympic pool?
Do you say sports fan?
Yeah.
I said fanatic, I guess, but that's usually applied sports fan.
Were you just building this jacuzzi for yourself?
Let's say
honestly,
I didn't
yes.
say the word fan. Let's say I didn't say the word fan. Let's say I stopped at the word sports or whatever.
Are you saying that sports fans don't love a pool and a jacuzzi? Like, it's a great thing. Let's put them together. One big thing. Great thing.
Am I doing? I think I missed it. Am I doing laps in the Olympic jacuzzi?
If you want.
Do I want?
What do you want? You're a sports fan, Jeeves. What do you want to do when you're in a nice, warm, comfy pool?
Pee. I want to pee every time.
Let me tell you something. We've got a filter. It's fine. You let rip.
Okay.
I will say the first thought that comes to my mind whenever I go visit somebody else's apartment is, when can I get in their Olympic-sized jacuzzi?
Thank you. He gets it.
The reason you'd make it Olympic is so that you could do laps, but you would never do laps in a jacuzzi.
No, the reason you make it Olympic is because if you want to have a big group of people having fun, throwing the volleyball around, really having a great time, you got space for that. If you want to be as far away from...
Why are you doing that in a jacuzzi?
I'm not.
You are.
Good time.
You are. Well, because it's hot.
Yeah, you're supposed to hot water instead of cold water.
Oh, there are different... I mean, it's big enough. You've got different area. You've got like the lukewarm. You've got the hot. You've got different areas, man.
You've got the action zone. You've got the chill zone. Is that what I'm?
And
you've made it
this
Olympic just so you can have different temperatures.
And this is, well, not just that, but also, like, if you want to be Mr. Popular, you can go around. You could be in the mix with all the other people. If you want to be a Muscle V, you can go to the other part of the pool. It's far enough away from where all the people are. Like, you can get away from them. It's fine.
Awesome.
You can do laps. You can do laps by yourself without other people in your way.
You can't do laps because there's a hot zone. That would be and maybe I assume some bubbly jets. That would be really crazy.
You can do laps without going all the way around. You do like a half lap.
You just rough it. As soon as the water gets the pee temperature, you're like, oh, I'll turn around here.
Are you telling me if you reach pee temperature, you wouldn't turn around?
I just think that's longer than an Olympic-sized pool. How big do you think the pool is, roughly, in feet?
I'm going to be honest with you.
Yep.
I chose the phrase Olympic size because it sounded impressive. I don't know what that means. I don't know how big that is.
You're thinking like the way Olympians would chill in a pool.
I
That
thought
kind
we were doing athletes, not sports fans.
which
Oh,
explains nothing, justifies nothing of your decisions.
but it explains a lot about what I understand about sports.
Yeah.
Somebody else's
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah, it's my turn. Okay. So I'm a sports fan, which I think this is probably why you got disserviced in this question, and that's okay. I think you'll get your comeuppance in a few questions from now. But when I'm watching sports, I get fired up. I get a lot of energy, and I love. Obviously, I can't do the sport like whatever sport I'm watching, but I love to pretend like I can. Especially football. Football is a great example of where I just want to throw stuff whenever I'm watching, especially if things are going great or terribly. So I'm gonna invent a throw vacuum, so I can throw a ball, preferably a football, full speed into this vacuum. As soon as it enters, a window closes behind it. Probably not of glass because I have too much force; it would shatter it. So probably of like nice plastic. And then there's like breakable shit behind it where I can just like shatter a bottle into this throwing vacuum. And anyone over my house that's watching sports, they could do the same. They can get their energy out in this awesome throw vacuum.
What the fuck are you talking about?
So there'd be like, it's like a dome. All right.
How?
Yeah.
Well, so the opening to the vacuum. How big is it?
It starts out huge because
Olympic
I'm
size.
first one drunk. Yes. It's Olympic sized. Because me and my guests are probably hammered. So it's huge. But as soon as the ball crosses the threshold, it shrinks into minuscule, smaller than the ball.
Okay, but okay, I've got many questions. So
Okay.
the
I don't understand
the
why, but
problem
sure.
the problem with the vacuum inherently.
It's not a vacuum. That's just what we've dubbed it. It's not sucking the ball in. The ball is being propelled by my force.
What if your force is, let's say, Pantsman strength? Like, what happens then?
You wouldn't be allowed to use it.
Then I don't want to say yes to it.
Oh, you're disqualifying people.
No,
I don't like that.
You're you'd be fine with it. It's like worst case, it just makes it across the threshold. You just have to throw it at the throwing line, which is almost right up to the window. Like it's really
But
close.
wait. Let's say I barely lob it in. But what happens now? How is it propelling into the thing? Or what? I don't understand what you're making. What is
you
this
don't know
thing?
you don't know what throwing is. Okay. So
No. I know what throwing is. I don't know what I'm throwing it into. What am I throwing it into?
you're throwing it into this all see-through enclosure, and there's like fun breakable shit behind a certain line.
What?
Right? Which part are you confused by? Line or breakable shit?
I'm gonna let the breakable shit go for a minute. Just let you keep talking.
Okay. So you throw this ball and it past this line. Stuff breaks you probably wouldn't break stuff, but most people would be able to break some things. And then to avoid the ball bouncing back or glass shards or whatever I have behind there, the wall closes. It's still a glass wall, so you can see the stuff break, but then you don't get any of the bounce back or the shard back.
So how do you like after you break your 2 items that you have in there because it's all you can afford? How do you?
There's like 400 items in there.
There's 400 items.
I mean, it changes. Sometimes it changes. Like, there's like little shelves that drop down, chandelier style, and then you can break some stuff.
Okay, here's where I'm at. I switched to Jack Daniels.
Okay.
And I wholly misjudged how much was left in the bottle. And I poured all of it into a cup, and that was too much.
Okay.
And then I grabbed a funnel and put some of that shit back in the bottle.
What?
So now I want to know,
You can't do that.
that's where I'm at. I don't understand what this is. What is the purpose of this thing? What is it solving? What problem is it solving?
Do you have any balls in your apartment that aren't attached to humans?
Yes, many.
Okay. Grab one of those, throw it at the Jack Daniels bottle as hard as you can.
I missed.
Okay, so keep going until you hit it.
Okay, let's say I hit it. What next?
presumably it at least spills some Jack Daniels, but it probably breaks. You probably knocked it off whatever
So wait a
surface
minute.
it
I
is.
completely misread what you were doing. I thought you wanted a automatic return so that when you
No.
threw a ball, it would come back to you like at a bowling range. You're saying
You know what?
that
I'm adding that though. Adding that feature as well.
You're saying you want to be able to smash shit by throwing shit at it, but you
Yep.
want to not have any spills or shards injure you, your person, or your property.
Yes, that's perfect.
Best idea we've had.
Smash room. Yep.
Smash room. Yeah. No, I'm in. Now that I know what it is.
I realize now that the branding was a little off. Throw vacuum is not as exciting as it is.
Olympic size vacuum.
I really thought you were trying to throw a ball into a vacuum so it could suck it up and spit it back out. I was really hoping, frankly, like at the bank in the 1990s, there was going to be like a little tube that it would return to you in, and you could just unsqueeze the tube and pull out a football and throw your football back in and get another tube. It's a great time.
I would be fine with the vaguely dangerous ball return of bowling alleys where it's like, oh well, if you're not paying attention, it could break your hand. But I have no idea why bank tube technology isn't more prevalent in our lives.
It's only insane.
It's crazy.
The coolest, most
so cool.
exciting thing.
It's 100% of the time it happens. You're like, yes, this was great.
I have no interest in going into a bank. I don't even like going to the ATM, but I wish I had an excuse to go to get that tube and have it suck my paperwork into another person's hand so that they could return to me the $25 that I requested or whatever the fuck happens.
Second place that's ever used it is our grocery store. You can get drugs from it. It's amazing. It's
I'm sorry. What? You've got a drug vacuum?
We got a drug vacuum.
I've seen
Why isn't that your pitch?
Well, it exists.
Okay.
It doesn't go into my house also.
I think we know what you've pitched. I think we know why it's kind of amazing, even though you really undersold it. What is Muscle V's thing?
First off,
you're a sports fan, so you should know the answer.
Both fucked up. You guys have seen all those simulations
obviously.
And all that stuff. I'm gonna have a room of different simulations like golf and baseball and football. I'm guessing you've seen those simulations where you go and actually hit a golf ball and it shows you like how far you've hit it on a screen. That's what I'm having.
That's it?
What do you mean?
You want a video game in your house? What do you think?
I'm fine with that. Are you saying you like throw a football at the wall and it tells you how hard you threw it?
You play like a game of football, like a football by throwing the ball to like your wide receivers and stuff. Like you are the person that's doing it. Same thing with golf. When you hit the ball, you hit it like 300 yards.
What are you throwing it at?
The screen.
Okay.
What kind of vacuum is going to return to me though?
There's no vacuum. I'm pretty sure. I know it's real.
You're standing like a foot from this thing, right? And you chuck a football into a screen, and then it kind of registers your force and
correct. Same thing.
Right.
Yeah. Correct.
And then the ball piddly rolls back to you or near you.
But on the screen, you just threw like 200-yard touchdown to whoever the fuck you want to throw it to.
That would be a wild game where you're throwing 2 football fields to get a touchdown.
It's simulation. You can do whatever you want.
What does it?
Can I throw it in space?
Yeah.
Does it presumably juice up your stats?
Because if I throw it in space, there's no friction in space. It will just go forever.
Yeah, you could do that, and then you can have like, I don't know, Odell Beckham Jr. just jump up.
But if I throw it in space and it goes forever, then I've already won, and it's infinity, and there's no point to life anymore. You've just made my life pointless.
That was your own decision. I didn't tell you to do that. You did it yourself.
You provided me a thing that could throw a ball into space. I'm not going to not do it and have my life ruined.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Don't be an idiot. Let's put it that way.
Well, don't be an idiot, Pantsman.
You can't say that to a person and expect them to follow through.
It takes Jeeves' idea to a whole nother level, which is way more amazing.
Does it?
Yeah.
Because those simulated games, they're never the satisfying experience you hope they're going to be. You do it and you're just like, it's like CGI in movies. Like it just takes the experience out of the experience. You're like, yeah, I guess I kind of did a thing, but it doesn't feel like I did a thing. It's not fun to
First off, you don't have to go outside. It's right there, right?
You definitely don't have to go outside. That we can agree on.
You can also play a full-on game without talking to anybody else.
Oh boy.
There's a bunch of benefits to it.
Throw it for you. I want to play all these team sports, but I just hate talking to people.
No, you're still on a team. You're just on I don't know, you're on the Steelers
I actually think
or the
I think you're wrong.
Titans or
I
whatever.
think you're wrong. I mean, obviously, if you're home alone, fine. But if you've got people around, I feel like you're going to actually have more people because instead of just playing the game and being on the field and running, like you're going to be surrounded by people watching you and commenting and like interacting with you.
That's cool too, I guess, if they want to talk to me.
No, it's not. Don't pretend like you think
If
that's cool.
they want to talk to me, that's cool. I'll be over here shooting my 200-yard bombs.
What?
He had
What
a
sport-
200-yard bat. He could
What
literally
sport did
make
he
it whatever he
describe it?
wanted.
I'm shooting 200-yard bombs now.
Oh, bombs. I thought
Yeah.
you said bounce.
No,
I heard bounce. I think
Bombs.
it's canon that he said bounce.
I'm doing that 200-yard bounce. Word.
I thought he was like trying to dribble the basketball, but it
went 200 yards.
Went 200 yards. Yeah,
All right. I think we can move on.
I think we have to.
We're gonna make this our last category of the night because we're going
Great.
a little slower than I expected.
Fine.
So, Pantsman, I need you to everyone knows the important thing about having an apartment is that you might find yourself inviting a celebrity over. I will give it to you. You can pick whatever celebrity you want, but I want to know how you're going to impress that celebrity. What's a feature of your apartment?
Well, my celebrity is the incomparable Tom Hanks. There's no better celebrity to have in your home than Tom Hanks. And how will I impress him? Do you think a full-size theater room will impress him? I don't. I don't think that's enough. He's probably been to a lot of houses that have that. But this is the only full-size theater room that plays only one movie. And that movie is the Apple TV Plus movie called Greyhound, which was written and directed by Tom Hanks. Hanks is definitely going to love it. It's the most flattering thing he's probably ever experienced. I just became best friends with Tom Hanks.
So it only plays the movie Greyhound?
So I can do. So it's built for. It doesn't have the option to do anything else.
Do you think Tom Hanks is going to sit through a whole episode of Greyhound?
It's not an episode. It's not a TV show. There aren't more than 1 hour and a half, maybe 2 hour movie. That's all it is.
So what do you guys do after that movie's over? Just rewatch it.
What do you do after
it?
that?
I think we high five.
You don't think Tom Hanks has watched his own movie like at least twice, 3 times? Like I don't.
Here's the thing: it's not designed for him to watch the movie. I'm sure he in the editing bay saw every second of that film so much he doesn't want to actually sit and watch the thing. I mean, most of the movies just him, just his face. Like he probably doesn't want to watch himself. That's not entertaining. It's not to entertain the man. It's to flatter him. I'm flattering him. He's flattered. We're best friends now. High five.
High five.
Do you think he'd be flattered?
He might be creeped out. He might be creeped out. But the important thing is that he's getting attention, and that's all celebrities really want.
Is that okay? Here's my only concern. Why is it even a theater room?
Well, because
That's my only concern.
Oh, that's
look,
your
it's
only
a
concern?
movie that I'm pretty sure was released exclusively on streaming. It never got a theatrical run, but let me tell you, it deserved one. Great movie. Great movie. You would hate it. You should do not watch it. You would not like it. But I loved it. It was great.
It's about being on the bus
No, it's about being on a boat.
called the Greyhound.
It's a little bit bad. It's bad title. I'm really sorry, Tom Hanks. Like, I love ya. Great movie. Bad title. Bad title.
Is there popcorn involved in this movie watching? Like, I'm not just sitting.
There's a lot of
sitting there,
food.
like, watching.
There's a lot of food. There's a lot of food, but he doesn't eat any of it. Like that's like a running theme is that he keeps being served food that he doesn't eat. It's a great movie. It's a great movie. One of the best I've seen.
Why doesn't he eat the food?
Because he is the captain of a naval vessel during World War II escorting ships across the ocean, and a bunch of submarines from the German U-boats are trying to sink him. And he's fighting Germans.
Are you just telling us the plot
And he doesn't
of
have
the
time to
movie?
eat. What?
You telling us the plot of the movie? We don't care about that. Why does he not eat food?
That's the plot of the movie, is that he doesn't eat food because he's a German
Yeah, I don't
fighter.
care about the movie.
He's fighting Germans.
Why doesn't he eat food at your apartment?
Why doesn't he eat the food? I don't understand.
In the movie?
At your apartment.
No, in my apartment. He is. Nobody's had more fun at the chandelier than him.
I think we all know Tom Hanks is chilling in the hot zone of the Olympic
You know what
jacuzzi.
else? New name for the floating island.
The Greyhound.
I forgot the name. What was the name of the movie when he was on the island?
Greyhound. Oh, Castaway.
Well, Castaway. The Castaway Island. That's a terrible name for a food island.
No, but it is a good action to take. When you're done with the island, you cast it away.
Oh my God, Siri, Castaway.
Yeah, that would be good.
Okay, that's what we're doing. That's what I meant.
Siri would shout Wilson as the thing retracts into the ceiling.
If you could get that Siri voice to do a bad impression, where she's like
Wilson,
but in somehow both in the Siri voice, but doing it like Will, that would be the best. I'll work on that technology.
Oh, you work on that. That'd be good because I don't think this Greyhound idea is taken off. I don't even know what to write. Movie theater plays Greyhound.
Thanks for love it. Thanks for love it.
Thanks will be displeased at best.
But he'll notice.
Okay, so I'm gonna go after the prince of all celebrities. I'm gonna go after my man, President Joey Biden.
Whoa.
Yeah. Now I don't know if you guys know this. Big Joe's.
But I can absolutely confirm that Muscle V did not know who was president.
Who are you guys talking about?
Not aware.
We're talking about the president of the United States. You just celebrated him with some fireworks.
Oh, Hillary Clinton.
Yep. Pretty old, but actually a little older than Hillary Clinton is Joe Biden. And that's what I'm going to launch in on. So I'm going to have in my apartment a Game Boy station. So Joe Biden's obviously from the time before the internet and before electronics.
So what I'm going to have. He's from the land before time.
He's from the land before time. I am going to have a whole corner that has just Game Boy Color and like this rotisserie of whatever Game Boy Color game you want to have at it. And he could just go to town. He's just be like, holy shit, I didn't know this existed.
Joe Biden from my home state of Delaware, and he wouldn't do that. That's not him. You're being ridiculous. I love Joe Biden. I love Joe Biden, and he wouldn't do that.
I'm pretty confident that I put Pokemon Yellow in front of Joe Biden. And I'm even, you know what? He can't see that well. I had this weird light that plugged into my Game Boy Color when I was a kid. I'm going to give him one of those so that he can see the screen. He's going to be in love.
The fuck?
It's like 16-bit color.
I don't care about that. I want to talk about how Boo Baby should have been here because he loves Joe Biden in a way that I don't understand. Like, nothing against Joe Biden. Boo Baby really likes Joe Biden.
So do you hate Joe Biden? I don't understand.
I don't. I just he's in love with the man in a way that is weird.
He hasn't found.
I'm worried about.
He hasn't found a lady for his life, so he puts all his energy into Joey B. What's wrong with that? If you're not going to love a person, love your country. And if you're not going to really love your country, love its leader.
I was say we can say a lot about him. He loves his country in the way in that it elected Joey Biden. Is that canon now? Is he Joey Biden? I'm okay with that.
I call him Joey B, but if you're not going to call him Dark Brandon, I think Joey B is fine.
What about Joy Baby? That sounds fun.
That sounds fun. It's not really accurate, but it's fun.
I feel like from Joey B to Joy Baby makes sense, and I'm going to stick with Joy Baby.
Only because he's super old and probably can't care for himself.
Well,
I just love that old people are running our country.
You love that. That's your favorite thing about this country.
Super cool. Mustafa, you seemed quiet. I know that you loved Game Boy Color when you came to this country and got to love its old leaders. What? No comments?
I actually started with the original Game Boy.
That is surprising. I don't believe that.
I did too.
I don't believe you've ever played a Game Boy, Pantsman, but I am surprised that Muscle V you started with the
Uh,
original big
my-
chunker Game Boy.
Yep, my cousin had it, and he gave it to me, and
Everybody,
it was fucking
now it
awesome.
clicks. Everybody gets it now. He got it free from a relative.
Yeah, it explains. You started with the Game Boy, the original Game Boy, like 2 years ago.
No, I was also like 4 and just moved to this country.
That is surprising. These are surprising stats to be, honestly.
I'm gonna drink for. I feel like that's revealing information.
Not really, but I think it's okay to drink for. It's surprising, which should be a rule anyway. So, are you for the Game Boy corner, or are you just like I'm
Is
over
that the
it?
whole thing? The whole idea for what do you think? It's one thing to say a Game Boy corner. I can see where that would be appealing to some,
So Joe
but-
Biden.
but to Joey, boy, baby, no. Like, why does he want that?
Well, he's never seen technology like that before.
That's
Because
what-
again, he's from before print existed.
Oh, you think he's a unfrozen caveman lawyer? You think you?
I think that's generous. I think he understands technology even less than that.
Okay.
He's gonna be blown away by the Game Boy Color.
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think Joey cares about your Game Boy Color.
I
or
think
Game Boy
when
at
he
all.
realizes that he can play as the Ash Ketchum, fighting against his well-known arch rival cousin Gary, he's gonna be in for a whirlwind.
in the 1990 six.
Oh my
six
god!
classic.
I just made a huge connection. So I remember years ago, I had a friend in high school that was named Gary, and I remember hearing that Gary was a name that was disappearing. Garys were no more. It was going to be like the Ruths and the Ediths, and just a name that was disappearing because nobody was naming their kid Gary anymore. And do you think it's because a generation of kids was raised on Gary being the villain of Game Boy?
I think genuine top 3 associations for the name Gary right now for me are Gary, the loser that you beat up in Pokemon, Gary, the snail in SpongeBob, which is like its top sell, and then Gary, Indiana. Those are your top 3. It's not a good
Let
look.
it die. Let it die. Sorry,
Yeah.
Garys.
Get out of here, Garys, you losers.
Well, don't kick them while they're down.
I was talking about primarily those 3 Garys, but also like if you're named Gary, if your parents named you Gary because they hate you, fuck off.
Why if you're named Gary, just start going by G-Ray.
Just change your name. Yeah, call yourself Joy Baby.
Don't insult the president of the United States.
His real name is actually Gary Biden. Everyone knows that.
Is he like the Gary from Parks and Rec? Just
Yeah.
somebody called him Joe, and he just felt like he had to stick with it.
You just didn't want to correct them.
I mean,
I think that's
Joe
right.
Biden's. I don't know. We don't have to talk politics. We just have to be honest. The man's. He's a nice fella. He's a nice man. He's a very polite man, and I could see him just being too intimidated to correct anybody.
Love that. All right, before we get erased by the NSA, Muscle V, what celebrity are you going after?
Obviously, again, I don't know how you guys didn't pick this, but obviously Gal Gadot.
Obviously.
Obviously.
Is it
Continue.
Godot or Godot?
It's
think-
Gadot, but whatever.
I think
Continue.
it's Gadot.
Okay, how do you spell the name?
Gadot.
How is that?
And how do you
Godot?
pronounce
T?
T?
How could
The
how
T
could
is
that
silent.
possibly be Godot?
T silent.
Even if the T is silent. That's
What
not
if the
Godot.
G is silent, like in the name Airy?
Okay.
As an Airy Biden. Why? It still wouldn't be Gadot. It would be Gato at best.
Oh, Gato sounds like a slur.
It does.
regardless of
Fucking
how she says her name or pronounces her
Wrongly.
name,
Incorrectly.
obviously, what does she miss being here in the States? She misses a good home cooking. So I'm gonna have a private
Where's she? I'm sorry. Where is she from?
Israel.
Who is?
Gal Gadot.
No, she isn't.
Google
Wonder
it.
Woman?
Yes.
Why would Wonder Woman be from Israel?
Fucking Google it.
She's
Do
from
you
the
actually
Amazon.
not know that?
She's from the Amazon, you idiots.
Oh, I see what you're doing. That's really lame. All right, moving on. Muscle V, what were you saying?
Anyways, the feature
She misses home cooking.
the feature I'm gonna have is a private chef that can cook her all of her favorite dishes that she misses while
Why isn't
not
that
being
your
at home.
kitchen idea?
Is the private chef your printed food machine?
No, that was a different thing for my 8 guests.
Wait. Is the private chef just for her?
Is it just
I mean,
Israeli cooking?
I'm benefiting from it too. It's whatever she desires. He can make.
Wait,
What I can tell you what she doesn't design.
are you telling me that 2 of your 3 ideas are whatever food you want, something can make it?
You don't think Gal Gadot's gonna
That's
be
2
like?
of your 3 ideas.
We are getting a deep dive into the psyche of Muscle V tonight.
I'm just saying she misses home cooking. I'm giving it to her, and she likes it.
Is it at least an Israeli cook?
I don't understand.
Whoever the private chef is can make all the dishes that she wants. All
You
Israeli
won't.
dishes.
It's an imaginary whatever you want. Just say what you want, and you won't commit to it being an Israeli chef.
Well, what if she doesn't want Israeli? What if she wants like Italian food, like at that time? I'm not gonna like.
Your whole premise was she misses food from home, and you're already bailing on he can make a bagel pizza. It's fine.
Well, I don't even know. Like, is Israeli cook? I have no idea what Israeli cooking is, but is it famous? Is it like? Is there a deep?
It's Mediterranean food.
Okay. I mean, does it lump up that poorly where it's just like, yeah, Israeli food's the same as I don't know who else is on the Med. I don't know that area of the world or any area of the world. Europe? Is that Mediterranean food? England?
No.
Where are we at? What's another country that's on the Med?
Greece?
Is it Greece? Is it just Grecian? Are you making her a baklava?
Baklava. Yeah, she does like those.
He said, as if he knows.
I do. She has to.
She has to.
Yeah.
Because it's really all the chef can make, if we're being honest.
It's an interesting move to say a private chef that could actually cook anything. So it's a super chef.
The thing that's amazing is like we've been going for like in our wildest dreams what we would come up with, and you just came up with something. I made a little bit more money. if I could just have like slightly more money, and I could hire a guy for a weekend to come and entertain Gal Gadot, who is for some reason there. Like that's so lo-fi.
You're definitely not appealing to Gal Gadot in any particular. Like, I guess technically you are appealing to anyone who doesn't have their home cooking. But really, you're just appealing to anyone who has food dreams.
I think you're right. What I should have
whims.
done is pulled out a Game Boy Color and been like, "Here, Gal, you can play this by yourself." And I'll just
Now,
sit
if
here
there's somebody that loves
in the corner.
a Game Boy Color, it's Gal. Get it.
I mean, yeah, I don't think I would include the light. She can see just fine. She was Wonder Woman. I custom included that light so that Joey B could see it. You guys get
Do you
that,
remember?
right?
Do you remember? Oh my God! I think we talked about it a minute ago, and I just was too drunk to remember. But do you remember when we had to have like light to see the damn game?
This was pre-backlit screen, yeah, definitely.
Oh my gosh!
You either had, if you were driving, you either had to have this awesome squiggly light, or you had to just be really good at playing underneath streetlights as you passed by them. It was a tough time, which Joey B will never appreciate.
No,
never
because
know.
he was twirling a circle with a stick.
All right. I think we're getting a little long, and I don't think there's going to be any way to judge these properly. So I'm going to throw these all to Boo Baby at some point and let him choose which one he would like to be a part of.
Sure.
I think we're going to go on and get out of here. But before we do, Pantsman, I just want to know, did we resolve your issues? Have you now figured out how to find an apartment? Is your day personally saved?
I've been looking for an apartment for 2 weeks. Until now, all I've done is Google the word apartment and gotten nowhere. Now I know exactly what to do. Now I know exactly what to do. All I have to do is find, hire, and invite a personal chef to feed Gal Gadot, and somehow that solves my problems.
Then your boyfriend will want to also hang out in the apartment.
You know what I really learned? I learned just go out into the country, find a $300 a month house, and never talk to anybody ever again. All of your problems solved.
Yeah, but didn't you hear his amazing dreams of like, well, it'll take me an hour to get ready, and then I'll walk my dog
Honestly, I
to
mean,
the bar.
I don't want to put too much pressure on this, but if this imaginary boyfriend doesn't work out, I'm going to the country and I'm just gonna be alone.
I want you guys to work out or whatever, but I would love to see that
Wait.
series.
Important question. In that completely off the beaten path, far from everywhere, 30 minutes even to a Walmart, there's still a Little Caesars nearby, right?
Believe it or not, they closed down in the early 90s.
All right, never mind. I'm gonna live life. I choose life.
I choose Little C's. All right, before you seize the day, why don't we go on and get on out of here? Pantsman, what do you got for us?
So little, so very little.
What would our buddy Boo say?
Oh, the thing is that I just think, I'm just so tired, because I've been busy, because I make excuses.
Muscle V, what do you got for us?
If you don't have an Olympic-sized jacuzzi in your house or apartment, are you even living?
That means I won. Cannon, I won.
What would our buddy Two Pop say?
Jacuzzi? What?
And I want to thank all of you for sticking around with us tonight. I assume you haven't, but if you have, hopefully you got some great ideas for your own apartment shopping. But I just want to remind you that no matter how many times you take that Greyhound loop, Tom Hanks will never love you. God Daddy's out.